Hello and welcome back to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very welcome, and today we have reached number 9. Yes, we are now in the final stages of the countdown to the top map of all time as voted by you. Now what we have today is inspired by a real life location. We are off to Canada near New Brunswick. If you know the area, you may recognise this. I don't know. I just don't know. But I do know that I remember loving the map, and I absolutely adore the creator. So you take a combination of those two things, and what you have is a map that's hopefully going to hold up well today, because it is a little bit older, and we have seen with some of the older maps that they have been a little bit lacking by today's standards. They've still been good maps, but there have been one or two like little refreshers that need to be popped in there to bring it up to 2023 standards. I'm hoping that this one will be at those standards already. So at number 9, with a 94.75% approval rating as voted by you, it's Kennebecasis by Waftthrudnir. So no DLC required for this map. There's not too long a list of requirements. It's 22 items in a one-click collection. Including the unlimited tree mod. I think network extensions 2 was listed, I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure it was. There is also a theme mix. The theme mix isn't actually included within the one-click collection, so it's kind of like an additional bonus. I am running with the theme mix. The base theme, which is in the collection, is Cedar Valley 4K. We are using the Relight average a lot today. And if you want the full theme mix, you'll also want Stray Cats Territory Nature Reserve, Rye Bluffs, and Not So Rocky Hills. Anyway, this map was uploaded to the workshop in November of 2018. It currently has 909 subscribers, 202 of which have marked this as a favourite. Has a 4-star rating on Steam from 100 votes, and I reviewed this in episode 551 of What's Map, where I gave this 5 stars for aesthetics, 4 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential. And so, well, the start square is actually around here. So off this main highway, off the intersection, we'll be looking to turn off at here, probably, I'm thinking, to reach this area. Now, that's going to be a fairly dull drive apart from the tunnel. That's a bit too short. I think we'll start up here. Bring the road down, because we've got an intersection, interesting looking thing here to go through. We can take a little left at the Trumpet, through a tunnel, past a lake, through a tunnel, over a river. You know what? That's definitely the route to go. This is definitely the most interesting path to the start square. Let's do that now. And yeah, so yeah, how many times have I said Waftthrudnir? Oh, Waftthrudnir. A few minutes ago, I actually took a look at it was their very first map that I reviewed back in the 300s, a long time back. And it was that one. I don't recall what it was now. I should have made a note. I'm not going to set it up as being the best map of all time, or one that you should play over this particular map here, or anything like that. But you know, when you see something and go, "Oh, I like this," yeah, it was that. It was a creator that we hadn't seen at that point, and they presented what was something that made me open my eyes and go, "Yeah." And they've not let me down since. Yeah, well, they've not let the community down since. Oh, also, just a little bit of light scrub alongside of the highways there. Yeah, it's the little things. It's the little things that count when you're making a map, and that's a little thing. A little lake over here as well, just to get us rolling, break us into the map easy, with a lake with a little bit of light rock detailing and some texture work there as well. The road takes a sensible route up through. It's the lowest point on the hills, so you're going to take the lowest point, aren't you? I feel up and through. We know there's going to be another lake or something along here. We see that now. Again, just an interesting shaped lake. So we're in Canada. Canada does have some lakes, doesn't it? I understand There's at least 3 lakes in Canada. And yeah, also the tree work alongside of the roads here. This is how to make a bank of trees along the side, right up against it. There's a bit of a gap between the road and the forest, which you kind of want. You kind of want that. And then we have enough small trees along here to form some kind of blend, and then you've got the tall trees as well, and it's just a good combo. It's just a good combo. If you just had the tall trees there, it would look a bit weird, but we've got the tall trees and the small trees filling in the gaps, so you can't just see in and through the trunks. It feels alive and dense and bold, and I like it. I've got a slightly odd intersection there. That's a little bit different. I like this. I like this. You can get both ways down the motorway. Normally, of course, you'd have one set of roads on this side of the bridge, but not on this case. We have roads going down to this wetland area here, which I think we'll take a look at now, save us coming back to later. Little rural level crossing there. And this road, are you going? Yeah, you're going off on your own journeys. We're not going to go on the journey with it. And a tiny little fake tunnel through there, just to make it look as if the water is being fed through from one side to the other. Very, very nice indeed. Very well done. Little touches like that, especially back in was it 2018? Did I say? I'll have a little look at my notes again. I can't see my note. Yeah, no, November 20. Yeah, back in 2018. Little touches like that could elevate a map. Oh, and definitely network extensions too. We've got the network extensions 2 roads there. Yeah, little touches like that could elevate a map above everything else. I mean, by today's standards, you go, yeah, I kind of expect that, and why not? You know. But this was leading the way. I've got to say, so far, there's nothing that doesn't feel old. It doesn't feel old at all. I guess you might argue some of the networking might be a little bit dated in the path, in the routing that it's taking, maybe. But it works for me. It works for me. There's nothing here that I would be changing. Tunnels. Nicely done. Nicely done. And now heading down towards that start square intersection. Not quite sure how this works. We'll have a little look at it. It's been a while since I've had a look at this map, like years. Do remember it though. Don't think I've forgotten it. I do remember it. I just don't remember the exact detail of how the whole thing works. So yeah, we would take a right off here, loop over onto this roundabout, and then bear right. And that would take us down into the start square area. And that feels like a nice area to start building in. Let me just pull that today so you can actually see that, yeah, good chunk of buildable space there. Very solid bank of trees there. You probably want to work around. Peninsula is treed as well, and then access in the next tile over to here would be pretty neat as well if you wanted to do that. Or if you're going to go work for the big city, you could buy your way down into the main rail area on your next tile. Or you could push up that way to go for some harbour space. Probably the one you won't be doing will be, I mean, you might buy that tile if you're doing a 9 tile game, because I think you're going to want this peninsula. I think you're going to want it. It's going to take 2 tiles to buy the peninsula. So if there is a grumble with the map, I think it is going to be that peninsula. It's just a little bit awkward on a 9 tile game. That's if that's the sort of thing that bothers you. Anyway, really nice key work, by the way. Let's get that said. Nice key work, very cleanly done. We have a little crossover roads, very nicely done as well. And then the road heads up past on one side. On one side we have the quarry. We even have the old dirt road going through, down and into the quarry, so that can be accessed via the old freight terminal there and everybody's favourite factories. Yeah, the quarry looks good to this day as well. And then that will head off towards the edge of the map, all on its Todd that way. And we've got some interesting little areas. I've forgotten about this. So breaking up the bay, we have this little island, and then you have this long wharf with the essential lighthouse. Ah, isn't she lovely? In red. And yeah, kind of like a broken path, overgrown little sections, whatever. That's very sweet. Very, very sweet. Over here, another little wetland area. And again, I think it works really well with the theme. I think the theme mix especially. It's just really good, really earthy. A very, very earthy theme mix. Down at this one, we have some kind of like a dam effect, I guess. The water being fed through. It's very pleasing, very, very pleasing on the eye also. Good rock work, good solid rocks going on there. And then if you move around the map, we have upstream from there, we have this little wetlandy type area as well. Particularly liking things like, again, how the islands, they do feel kind of flat to the water. The amount of times that you'll see an island, in fact, see the difference between these islands here, which are kind of flat to the water, and they do look wet and damp, but the texture work in there makes it feel wet and boggy. But you come over to this one, you have a look at this island, it has a bit of elevation. With the elevated island, we do have a different kind of biome with the grasses, and we're using different texture work. It's just little subtle things like that can, when you're working on a map, like over here, the riverbanks here, quite low, you're getting this boggy, sort of like deeper, darker colour. Just works very, very nicely. So yeah, when you're working on an area, choose your biome and work within that biome. Even if the biome isn't exactly perfect in terms of, oh, you can find the right tree you wanted or the right texture you wanted. If you work consistently with it, you're creating that biome. And then somebody playing your map will look at that biome and go, oh, right, yeah, maybe it's not how I aesthetically would choose to build this biome, but I understand the map. The map comes to life. The map means something. And so, yeah, you'd be creating your own, your own regional biome. Yeah, that's just a way of just making a map really come together. And again, here, large areas of fertile land, a little bit of wetland, lake here, the forests, good shapes of forests, good density of trees on the forests, interesting shape as well. The whole thing, it's the whole package. It's the whole package. Over this way, this is almost ignorable. The amount of people that probably won't even build over here, because your main, that's where your city is, right? That's where your city is. Is this just for background? Well, if it is, it does the job. And if you want to build over here, this does the job also. The whole thing just fits together so well. Really nicely formed map, beautifully done, well loved by the community. 94.75% approval rating. I think that's about right. I think it's about right. Where's the best angle? I don't know. If I'm making you dizzy, I'm sorry. I'm not very sorry, but just a bit sorry. I'm going to park here. It gives us a good view of the buildable space. There we are. Kennebecasis by Waftthrudnir. That is very nice indeed. Big fan. Big fan. And there might be another one from Waftthrudnir to come. There might not be. No more clues. I did say there were no more clues. So if you're a Waftthrudnir fan, now be a good time, of course, hit the like button on the channel here, but also head on over there, subscribe, so we can get up to 1,000 subscribers, shall we? Very good map, very playable, just a dream of a map, really. And that is it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with the 8th best map of all time, as voted by you. Another one of the top creators. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you've all subscribed and everything. All the stuff I already told you to do. And a big shout out while we're here to the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership for supporting the channel. Love you guys very much. You're the best. And I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.